With our mat, we're just going to stand in mountain pose. So if you remember, this is the one where we're just hip width distance apart with our feet. And we're going to go a little bit slower just so we can really feel these. If you will, take your pinky toe, smack it down on the ground, then your fourth toe, then your third toe, then your second toe, and then plant that big toe. Just glue it to the mat. Then glue that ball mount part right underneath your toes, and then glue your heels down to the ground. So soften a little bit. Maybe tuck your pelvis under a little bit. Just be mindful. You know how your spine curves. If you tend to do, like I stand like this, that's terrible. So I have to kind of pull my ribs, pull my tailbone as if it's pulling down into the earth. Hands out wide. Looks great. Start to breathe here. This might be the first time you've actually stopped today to take a deep breath in through your nose. Maybe hold it at the top for a second and breathe out as if you're breathing through a straw. Let's do that again. In through your nose. Pause at the top with a full belly of air. Exhale out through your mouth. So what we're going to do today as you continue to breathe, I'm going to explain it to you. We're going to go through called moon salutations. And those are sun salutations because they're a little bit more calming. And for me, on a Wednesday, when I've had a couple of stressful days and I know I've got 2 more, sometimes a Wednesday gentle, calming, stretchy yoga is nice for your nervous system. So in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. So with our moon salutations, it's 17 poses, and we'll hang in the pose, and I'll tell you a modification if you need it. I would tell you that if something hurts, don't do it. If something's a little uncomfortable and it's stretching into places that are tight, try to go there if you can using your breath. So inhale to the sky. This is our first position in our moon salutation. This is a pranama. And if you'll just take your gaze between your hands. Again, grounding your feet down. And just visualize whatever in between your hands you want to think about. A lot of stuff going on right now. Kids going back to school, trying to work, trying not to worry too much. Think about something that's maybe been hard this week for you. Could be, again, an illness. Could be fear. It could be a relationship that's challenging. Could be finances or a job. Could be your own personal health. Think about that. And now I want you to think about one thing positive about that thing. So if it's a relationship issue, find one blessing in that. Deep breath in here. Now as you exhale, take your right hand on your left wrist, and we're going to pull to the right with our side bent. Stretching out that left side. Now, if you were to turn yourself to the side, you would not be able to see, you would not be bending forward. So this is not right. I'm bending forward. I'm trying to pull my side open to the right. And you might feel this all the way down in your left glute, definitely in your left back. Doesn't matter how deep you go to where it's just slightly uncomfortable, but you're getting a great stretch here. This is the half moon second position in the moon salutation. So take another deep breath in here. As you exhale, maybe pull your right ear a little bit closer to the floor. Beautiful. Now the third position is a victory squat. So walk your feet, heel toe them out. Toes are pointing to that top right corner. Slowly start to go into that squat. So we're going to claim victory over whatever is bothering us this week. We're only 3 poses in. Really engaging your internal abductors here, engaging your glutes. So squeeze those glute muscles together. Maybe imagine pushing your knees back to that back wall and hold here. Take your arms up to a goddess pose. This is victory here. Inhale, as you exhale, go deeper. This is a hard pose to hold. If you need to come out of it, no worries. Come out and go right back in. Imagine pushing your shoulders away from your ears. Let go of that tension. You look beautiful, guys. Great posture. Tuck that tail under just a hair. Victory here. Inhale, exhale, release those legs straight. Squeeze those glutes. Arms out to the side. This is your 5-pointer star. This is not a passive pose. It's actually very active. So imagine squeezing muscles in your calves, your quads. Imagine gripping with your glutes. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Nice posture. Now imagine turning those toes on the right a little bit more out to the right. Maybe bringing those left toes a little towards center. So you're twisting a little bit to the right. Start falling into that triangle on the right. Now this is where you can grab your block. If you would like to place your block inside your right foot, that gives you a really nice stretch here. Deep breath in. As you exhale, look up to your left fingers. Inhale here, exhale, open that chest up. Try to rotate that left shoulder back and down. You're opening up your heart. It's hard to open our hearts up. Feels like we're going to get hurt. This is a safe place. Open your heart up. This signifies all the strength and courage it takes to do what we all do every day. Glance up to your fingers. Inhale here. Nice. If you're on your block and you want to turn the block sideways and go deeper, you can. Otherwise, you're fine where you are. Right where you are is perfect. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's carefully rotate over our left knee into a pyramid pose. So you can move your block if you would like. Step that back foot up just a hair. In your pyramid pose, you'll see my legs are straight, or you can keep your knees slightly bent. We're folding over that right thigh. Keep breathing here. Inhale. Exhale it out. Can you take the top of your head and drop it to the mat? It's so heavy. You don't need to carry that around. Just drop it down. What is your face doing? Relax those facial muscles. Beautiful. Now for the 7th pose, we're going to step back into a lunge. So take your left foot back into a runner's lunge. So our right leg is bent here, as you can see on me. Placing our hands beside our right foot, lower that knee. Might feel good to flip that foot over to where the top of your left foot is flat on the mat. If you would like to use the block, no problem. Put the block underneath your left hand. For this stretch, imagine the top of your head all the way down to your knee on the mat is one straight line. So really lengthen and straighten that spine. You can stay here, or on your next inhale, pull your torso up and put your hands on your right thigh. is the hip flexor stretch on the left. And I didn't mention it, and I apologize. If you have knee issues, certainly put a cushion, a pad, a towel underneath the knee that's down. So inhale here. As you exhale, maybe push a little bit deeper into that right foot. You'll feel a real opening in that right and the left hip bone and in your right hip flexor. That looks beautiful. All right, here, let's plant our hands in front of us and leave that right leg bent, twist around, leave the left leg straight. This is a extended leg squat. So our left leg is straight out with our toes to the sky. Our right leg is bent. You can also take a block, place it underneath your hips. If you just can't get there, this is completely fine. It's an excellent stretch. Maybe point and flex your toes. Everybody looks great here. If you would like another different stretch in your back, maybe take your right hand behind your right hip, pull your head to the sky, straighten that spine up. Beautiful, deep breath in here. As you exhale, let's bend that left extended leg, walk it in a little bit, and let's just come to our Malasana, our Yogi Squat. So again, both legs are bent here. We're right in the middle of our moon. You can sway back and forth. That might feel good, opening up those hips. If you need to sit on your block, that's completely fine. If anything is cramping or hurting or burning, come out of it and go back in. Leverage, your elbows can go on the inside of your thighs, right at your knees, and push back. Nice. Sway here. This is our Yogi Squat. So deep breath in here. As you exhale, plant your hands. We're going back around the other side of the moon. So leaving that left leg bent. Straighten that right leg out. We've got to stretch that inner thigh on the right. Using your block underneath your hips or underneath your hands, tilting those right toes to the sky. Deep breath in here. Exhale if you'd like to bring your left arm around to the back and straighten your spine. That feels good too. Inhale here. Every side is different. So this may be, for me, it's much more restricted than my right side. Inhale here. You guys look great. All right, when we exhale, let's flip around to that runner's lunge on the left. So straightening that right leg out. Left leg is bent at a 90-degree angle. Hands beside each side of our left foot. Lower that right knee. Flip that right foot over. Looks great here. Might feel good to rock back and forth a little bit. Again, if you have any knee issues, you can place something underneath your knee. Deep breath in here as you exhale. Would it feel nice to bring your hands to your thigh? Pull your torso up. Just take a minute here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale on your next exhale, plant your hands again on the mat beside your foot. Carefully step that right leg up into your pyramid. As a reminder, a pyramid can be straight legs or it can be bent knees. Whatever feels good on your body. Inhale here. Exhale, release a little bit deeper, abdomen to thigh. Drop that head. Inhale here. Exhale. As you exhale, walk that right foot back a little bit. Left toes are pointed to the left. Open up for that triangle. You can use your block for your hand. Let's hold here for a few beats. This is a really important pose that we're engaging our glutes, our side body, our abdomen is tight. Imagine shrugging your shoulder to your right ear and then rotating it back down your back. Open up your chest. Gaze to the ceiling. Using that block to steady you and to put some of that weight for your left hand. Inhale, and when you exhale, imagine pushing your right hip further out. And really feel that stretch in that left groin. Inhale here. Exhale. Beautiful. Now carefully, pose number 14, just lift up. We're going back to that 5-pointed star. You can have a little tiny bend in your legs, if that feels good. Engage your arms. Make everything active here. Pull your rib cage down. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your pelvis just a tad. Squeeze every muscle in your arm. Flare those fingers out. 5-point star. Beautiful. Now let's start to bend into those knees for our victory. Squat here. Again, go as deep as you would like. Arms to goalpost. Pulling that tail down to the earth. Let's use our breath here. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale it out. As you exhale, can you go deeper? Inhale, come out if it hurts. Exhale it out. You guys look amazing. You're so strong. One more. Inhale. Exhale it out. Beautiful. Careful, heel toe your feet together. Back to the top. Standing in that mountain. Let's raise our arms to the sky. Almost done with our moon salutation. Let's bring that moon over to the left using your left hand pulling on your right wrist. See, my body's in almost like a half moon shape. And pulling my chest back so that I'm not pulling myself forward. I'm pulling it more back and opening up. That looks great. Inhale here. Exhale it out. Let's release straight up again to our extended mountain. Nice and tall. Remember that first one we did 17 poses ago? This one should feel different. Taking those pinky toes, the 4th toe, 3rd, 2nd, and our big toe, plant them, glue them down along with every other foot pad you have. Gazing up through your arms. Now remember that thing we talked about that's been hard this week. And think about how you've found the blessing. Release your eyebrows, release your face. Release that jaw that we tend to clench all day and all night long, even as we sleep. Release all of that. Inhale, forward facing fold. Beautiful job on the moon salutations. Forward fold here. Let's just have a really loose Ragdoll fold. Our knees are slightly bent here. Grabbing our opposite elbows. Release your neck, head straight to the ground. Just be a wet rag here, just as heavy, loose, maybe sway from side to side. Nice. Inhale, as you exhale, walk your hands over beside your right foot. Let's get a side stretch on the left. Go as deep to the side as feels good for you. Nice. Inhale, walk your hands through center, and let's do that on the left side. Just as deep as you feel good. No pain, no burning, no numbness. Might feel a little uncomfortable in a stretch, and that's okay. Inhale, exhale back to center. Let's bring our hands to a flat back. So our hands are on our shins or on the floor, and our back is so flat we could set a cup of coffee on it. Or Hannah, we could do a hot chocolate from Starbucks on it, and it would not fall off. Right here, so the crown of your head is pulling straight to the opposite wall in front of you. Pulling your abdomen in. Strengthening that low back. You've got a lot to carry around in this world. We have to be strong. Forward facing fold. Plant your hands on the mat. Let's step back to our first downward dog. Now, if you're having shoulder issues, it's really important to keep your elbows just slightly bent. That might help with the shoulders. You can also widen the stance of your hands, maybe even bringing them to half on, half off the edge of your mat. Just play around with that, making sure that your shoulder blades in the back are pulling together, and so the pressure is not on the shoulder joint. Walk your dog out. Or walk your cat out. Whatever you're wanting to do, let's just walk it out here. Bending each knee, using our breath. Nice job. Beautiful. Let's take a low lunge. This time, let's lower that left leg and let's rise to the sky. Beautiful. Stretching our upper body, pulling our shoulders away from our ears. You guys hearing me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Now this one's a little bit more of a stretch. If you like to try this, you can. Otherwise, you stay where we are. Take your left hand down. Pull that left foot up with that right hand. Low lunge quad stretch. So you're really stretching that quad on the left. This one's a toughie. You can stay in that lunge if that feels better. Release that. Hand down beside your foot. Let's start to walk over into our lizard. So your lizard can stay here. Your hands are going to be on the inside of your right foot. So your knee on the right is going to be splaying out just a little bit to really get into that right hip. You can use your hand if you would like to push that knee open. You can rotate your torso up to the right, gazing to the sky. Now, placing the hand back down, let's walk our foot on the right over to the left side of our mat for our pigeon pose on the right. So laying that right ankle flat on the mat, outside ankle, laying that right outside knee down, keeping that left leg out straight behind you. This may be enough. This is a lot. So you're feeling that stretch. Anybody feeling it through that right hip?
Woo.
Yep. If you would like, what feels good to me sometimes is to take my block or my pillow and just barely stick it under that right glute. And then use my body leverage to kind of get a little bit deeper in that stretch. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, let's walk our fingers out in front of us if that feels good to you. You can stay straight up in your torso if you would like, or you can go to your forearms here. Start to release the tension in your head. Inhale here. Exhale it out. And then you know your body. If you'd like to go deeper, maybe placing your cheek on your hands, tops of your hands on the mat, you can do that. If you find a place that feels super tight, you might want to stay there. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale your way back up, using your hands to push back up. Now pulling that block out if you have one, laying over on that right hip. So the knee is staying bent. I'm going to turn around so you can see me in the front and then bring that left leg over it. Now, some of us can only get to here with the ankle on the right knee. Some of us can go all the way. This is called a cow face pose. I'm assuming I don't know, maybe this looks like a cow face with the horns. But you'll see my left leg is crossed over my right. My knees are stacked, but this is completely fine here. You can hold your feet if that feels good and really straighten up that spine. Inhale here. As you exhale, maybe tilt your pelvis forward, hinge at the waist. You don't have to go far to really feel stretch way down in the left hip and the left glute. Inhale here. Exhale it out, maybe a little bit. Maybe you can get your chest on your thigh, maybe not. Do what you can. Inhale. As you exhale, come back up. Strengthen that spine straight up. Take that right arm, bend it at the elbow, left hand on the right elbow, and pull that tricep and that bicep back. So your hand on the right is touching the back right underneath your neck. You're stretching out this upper arm on the right. Nice. Inhale here, release. While we're here, let's straighten our legs out wide in front of us. As wide as feels comfortable. Rooting those sit bones down. So those bones underneath your flesh, root those to the ground, straighten your spine up tall, pull that head to the ceiling, flex those toes. Now point your toes. Do that. Take your hands. Can you walk yourself forward into a fold? Doesn't have to be a deep fold. It can be big. It can be a 10-degree fold, hinging at your hips, releasing that neck. Can you go further? Nice. Walk your way back up. Now let's fold over the right leg, Pivoting your torso towards your right foot. Let's walk down our calf, walk down our shin. If you can, grab your toes. If you can't, that's fine too. Just go as deep as it feels good, right up the side of your left back. Release your nose as if you're going to drop it to your knee. Let go. We've only got a few more minutes. This might be the only time today you get to let go of whatever is weighing you down, whatever you're carrying, just let it go. Inhale, walk through the center. Let's stretch on that left leg. So turning your torso towards your left toes, laying that abdomen on the left thigh, knee to nose, release those shoulders. Inhale here, exhale it out. Inhale here, exhale it out. Walk yourself back up. Let's place our hands on the mat. Let's push back up into our downward dog again. Let's do the other side. So pedal it up. Releasing that head. Again, if you have a shoulder strain, widen your hands. Pull those shoulders back and down with a slight elbow bend. Left leg to the sky. Split it wide open. You can always open that hip up if that feels good. Pushing that right heel to the ground. Maybe come up on your toes. Inhale. As if your knee's coming to your nose on the left, push it through for your lunge on the left. You can drop that right knee, flip that right foot down. Now rise. Inhale here, exhale. Lower your shoulders. Release the tension in that face. Put a smile on. Inhale here, release your hands back inside your foot. Now, if you would like, you can stay here or you can roll up on that right knee, bend your right leg, pull that foot towards your left hand for that quad stretch. This is a doozy. Open up your chest. Even if you can't grab your foot, you can bend your foot just a little bit at the knee. As long as you don't have knee issues, you're still going to feel a nice quad stretch. Looking over that left shoulder, gazing to the left side of the room. Inhale here. One more. As you exhale, lower that right foot. Let's go down into our lizard pose on the left. So that left knee is splaying out a little bit. Your right hands are both together on the inside of your left foot. This might feel good. It might feel good to take your left hand on your left knee, your thigh right above your knee, and kind of roll that out a little bit. Open up that inner thigh. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale here. As you exhale, push yourself back up. Bring that bent left leg in. You're going to leave it bent, and then we're going to somehow gracefully get our right leg bent over for that cow face on the right. So our right leg is going to be bent over our left bent leg. Come as far as you can. Maybe your right ankle is on your right knee. That's a great stretch. Can you bring your foot to the floor? Could you line up your knees? Whatever feels good for you. Grab your feet, pull your feet back a little bit to the back of the room. Do you guys feel a good stretch here in both of your hips?
Mm-hmm.
Deep breath in here. If you would like to hinge, fold forward, a little or a lot. You might even take your hands and walk them forward if that feels good. Placing your chest on your thigh. Nice job. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, release a little bit more. Inhale yourself back up, walk your hands back in. Before we release this cow pose, let's take our left arm straight up. Let's bend at our elbow, our right hand on our left elbow. Let's pull that elbow towards our back, releasing those tricep and bicep muscles on the left arm. Inhale here, release your hands down. Let's take our legs out in front of us. Straight out. You can leave your knees a little bit bent if you're a little tighter in your hamstrings. This is a staff pose. So our hands are right beside our hips. Feet are flexed. Spine is super straight, head pulling to the sky. You can have a slight bend in your knees. As you exhale, walk your feet forward for a forward fold, hinging at the waist. Tiptoeing your fingers out. I have to leave my knees bent because my hamstrings are so stiff. But I'm using my breathing, so I'm inhaling, and as I exhale, I'm going just 1/8 of an inch deeper. It's amazing how we can use our breath, not only to go deeper in yoga, but just to calm us. Kind of like when we're a young mom and we've got little kids and we're irritated and they're not behaving. You just have to take lots of deep breaths, and I don't think it ever changes. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, chest or abdomen to thighs. Walk your way back up. Let's take our right leg and bend it. Let's cross it over our left thigh. So our right foot is on the opposite side of our left knee. Seated twist. You can stay here. You should already start to feel this up your left side. Or you can take your elbow on the left and kind of leverage it, traction it, push yourself open. Open up your chest to the right, looking over your right shoulder. Seated twist. Inhale here. Exhale. Let's release that. We need to do that on the other side. So straight leg on the right, bend that on the left. Place that left foot on the right side of your right knee. Really straight back here. Right elbow goes on the opposite outer thigh on your left and twist open. You can walk your left fingers maybe further back around to really open up your chest and your back. Look over your left shoulder. here, exhale. Inhale here, exhale. Let's come back around. Releasing those legs. Let's roll back on our back. Slowly, carefully down. Feeling every single vertebrae touch the floor, gluing it down. Let's take our knee on the right. Let's bend that, pulling it into your chest. Just as deep as you can go, rotating both of those ankles around. Your right hand is on your shin. Really using that strength in your right arm to pull that knee down into your armpit. Almost as if you're trying to touch that kneecap to the armpit. Really deep stretch here. See if you can make sure your left glute is glued firmly to the ground. Left shoulders to the ground. Rotate that around. Now come back to center with that knee. Take your left hand, place it on the outside of your right knee, and let's do a twist. So we're twisting over across our body to the left with that right knee bent. Right arm is out straight to the side. Look over your right hand. If you need a deeper stretch, you can use that left hand that's on the outside of your right knee and kind of pull that down towards the ground. You'll feel a stretch all the way up to your middle back on the right. As you inhale and exhale, release it to a deeper stretch. Inhale, exhale, come back to center, straighten that right leg out on the mat. Let's pull that left leg into your armpit, your knee, armpit on the left, squeezing that shin with your left forearm. The tighter you squeeze and you kind of rotate that out maybe a little bit to the left, you'll feel a deep stretch in that hip flexor on the left. Maybe even down into your left inner thigh, your groin area. Inhale, as you exhale, take your right hand on the other side of your left knee, pull that knee across your body towards the floor on the right, looking over your left hand. Make sure those shoulder blades on both sides are firmly on the mat. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring that knee back up. Bring both knees in. Grab the outside of your feet with your hands for a happy baby. So opening up those inner thighs. Pulling those knees down towards your armpits. Bending those elbows to the opposite walls. You can roll here. That might be a nice back massage, hip massage. You feel a pocket of inflammation somewhere in your pelvis, on your low back, just stop there for a second. As you inhale, straighten that left leg, leaving the right leg in that happy baby. Straighten as much as you can. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You can have a straight-ish left leg with a slight bend in the knee. Another nice stretch is to take your hands on the left, your fingers, and put them on the ball of your left foot and kind of pull your toes towards your shin. You might feel a all the way down from your Achilles all the way down into your glute. So left leg is a little straighter. Right leg is still in that traditional happy baby legs. Inhale here. Exhale it out. Now let's switch legs. So bend that left happy baby leg. Straighten out the right one as much as comfortable for your knee. Take the fingers on your right hand, place them over your toes on the right foot, pull those toes gently down towards your shin for that deep stretch, Achilles to glutes. Calming your breath back down. Take one more minute here to remember that hard thing. I hope and pray it doesn't feel as hard right now. And I hope you've found a little bit of a blessing even in the really hard stuff. Release those feet. Let's glue the soles of our feet together. Let's carefully lower them to the outside of our blade foot is on the mat. Knees are splayed open wide, as comfortable as they want to be. Take a minute here in this reclining bound angle. Inhaling here. As you exhale, imagine releasing the outside of those knees as if they're just dead weight. You guys have done a great job. Thank you for hanging in there with me even during my extended down dog. I know now you guys aren't quitters. If I had had that happen and I was a student, I probably would just have signed off, so thank you. Now take a deep inhale. As you exhale, straighten those legs out. Imagine the heels of each foot on the corner of each mat. Straighten those arms out, but comfortable, relaxed. Spread yourself out as wide as you can on your mat. Imagine that low arch in your back, that slight arch right above your pelvis. Imagine releasing that tension. Let's scan our bodies. Every single joint in your toe is relaxed. All 10 toes, release that. The arch of your foot carries a lot of weight. Release that arch. Imagine it just kind of melting away. Your heels, they're soft, no strain. Achilles are perfectly healthy. Now your calves and your shins, release that. Everything's loose, melting into the mat. The front and the back of your knees, completely limber, completely healthy. No issues there, just release that. Our thighs, they carry us everywhere, so strong. Let's give them a break, let's release that. Hamstrings, quadriceps, inner thighs, IT band on the outside, really tight spots, let it go. Now our pelvis, where we carry so much emotional, physical, release that. Release your glutes, release your front pelvis bowl, release your low abdomen. Literally feel yourself melt into the mat. This is a safe time for you to relax and not worry about sucking in your abs. Let it go. Your abdomen, your ribs, your lungs, your heart, all of your organs doing all this hard work for your body. Relax it. Relax those shoulder blades, your shoulder caps, those joints, relax them down. Your arms, your elbows. Let go of the tension in your fingers. You're writing all day, you're typing, you're carrying, you're cooking, you're cleaning, let it go. Push those shoulders down into the mat, away from your ears. See how many inches you can get between your earlobes and your shoulders. Push them down. Release your neck. Release your jaw. Let go of gritting your teeth. Let it go. Squeeze your nose around like you're trying to keep from itching. Squeeze it around. We're not supposed to be touching our faces right now. We're going to itch our nose. It's going to look dumb when we look back at this, but we're releasing the tension in our nose and our eye sockets. Let go of that eyebrow. Let go of the wrinkles in your forehead. Release that tension that you're holding in your scalp. Deep breath in here. Shavasana. Start to wake back up, maybe sit up on your side, push yourself back up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Let's enjoy one more breath here. Inhale, hands to heart center if you'd like. I want to thank you for being here with me today. I know just a little about each one of your stories, and I'm blown away at your strength and your courage. And I hope that even in the hard stuff we have to do day to day, especially in this time, I hope we can all learn to find just a tiny blessing. The light in me honors the light in each one of you. Namaste.
Namaste.